Hey everybody, Chad here, and today I'm going to make a solid brass pen. And what I mean by that is I am using a Elements solid brass pen kit, and I made a solid brass body out of a brass bar. And what I'm going to do is kind of distress this and grind it up a little bit so that way when I do the patina, I can get some cool colors into those cuts that I'm making. So I'm just using a disc wheel on my Foredom grinder here, and I'm just going to grind up and down this thing for a little bit to kind of push it in there and give it some character, and that hopefully will look cool down the road. Now this is going to be cool because this whole pen, except for the clip which is steel, is going to be brass. So once I get the grinding done, I'm going to start to prepare for the patina. And with this, I'm just using plugs that I use in casting to plug up the ends. And then I'm going to use some tuck tape around the threads. What's cool about the plugs is you can kind of find any size you need if you have a variety of these, and they work pretty well. The tuck tape worked really well for the threads. I've used masking tape before, and it gums up and gets gooey, and it takes a lot more cleaning. The tuck tape was super easy. It just peeled right off. So then I'm putting it in vinegar. That's just vinegar, and I'm dipping my fingers in it to coat it, and then I'm salting it. You can find all kinds of patining recipes on the the interweb, blah, 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 right? So feel free to search around and find what you need. Most of them work fine. I've been using the vinegar, water, salt method for a while, and I really dig the way it looks. So just kind of play with it and see what works for you. You can always add more if it's not quite the color you want, or you can like lay it on its side to get streaks and things, and it's really cool. So a couple days later, I popped it open. I think I just left them sitting over the weekend, and they looked really cool. They had this awesome blueness to them. And keep in mind, when you pull these out, they're going to be like corroded looking and rough, but you're going to scrape most of that off. So you're gonna really take a lot of that off, actually, which is kind of cool. But you can see they look blue and bumpy. And I just take a steel wire brush, and I brush them in a couple different directions because I don't want to like sand it straight and have lines. Usually you get that when you have parts laying on the bottom, which is cool, but I don't want to like scrape lines into it. So I kind of go in different directions and just knock it all loose. I like to give it a good go and get all the big chunks off. And that's where you'll see that I have like clean brass or clean copper, whatever I'm working on at the time. And that's where the big chunks are. So it's actually cool to knock the big chunks off because you get different colors underneath it. And this will totally leave like greens and yellows and browns and blacks. So you just got to experiment with the corrosion method that you're using, if that's the right term, I don't know, and do that. So once I do this, I clean it up really good, and then I give it a quick spray with an automotive lacquer, and I find that works really well. Now this pen, because I drilled out a brass rod, I'm going to epoxy the parts in, and I'm just using 2-part 5-minute epoxy. Just put it a little on each end. I make sure I go around the whole thing and make sure it's level. I don't want it to squish up into the threads when I do this, so I'm real careful. Once I've done this, I actually push the parts in by hand, and they're snug but not tight, and then I put them in my pen press, and the tension in the pen press holds it. So after that is dry, usually give it an hour, even though it's only 5-minute epoxy, assemble, and you have this completed pen. And it's funny to make something new that you're trying to make look like it's been around 100 years, but it looks pretty old to me. It looks pretty worn and weathered. The clear coat gives it a nice feel and a nice protection element, but it is definitely beat up and distressed, and it's pretty cool. So if you're interested in this pen, like and subscribe, and we might do a giveaway for this in the very near future. But please share the video and have fun. Let me know if you need any help.